the rest of the story. It was in the autumn of 1862, in the hills near Munfordville, Kentucky. The 17th Indiana Volunteers were outnumbered and surrounded. Their commander, Colonel John Wilder, had staged a brilliant resistance thus far, but Confederate reinforcements had been summoned, no way to tell how many, plenty. By sunset on the 16th of September, Colonel Wilder was feeling the full weight of his rank. As so many participants in that unfortunate war between the states, Wilder was no military man. He was an Indiana industrialist, compelled to perform his patriotic duty. And likewise, the men serving under him were more than soldiers. They were his neighbors. They were his friends. An impetuous surrender, and they would be disgraced. And injudicious conflict, and they would be dead. If only Colonel Wilder could consult a superior officer, not just any superior officer, but one whose judgment he implicitly, unequivocally trusted. Well, it turned out such a man was camped not far away. General Simon Buckner, whose division had been deployed south of the Green River. So Colonel Wilder knew what he had to do, even if it meant getting shot at. He must somehow slip through enemy lines and seek out General Buckner, whom he so very much admired. The journey began under cover of darkness. Colonel Wilder did make it past the night-watching Confederates down to the river to the camp of General Buckner. The general was at once pleased and astonished to greet his visitor. How in the world had Wilder gotten through with all those nervous graycoats? And why? Well, Colonel Wilder explained his situation. The rebels had him surrounded. He felt frustrated, unsure of his ability to make the right decision. So he had sought the advice of this respected superior officer, even though procuring that advice had meant risking his life. General Buckner was flattered, but he was reticent. He said, "I can't make your battle decisions for you." But Wilder pleaded that he had not been a military man. He required the counsel of a seasoned field commander. "My position is strong," Wilder said. "I can put up a good fight. I want to do my duty, but I don't want to sacrifice 4,000 men needlessly." General Buckner was impressed by the colonel's conscientiousness, and for the next hours, nobody remembers how many, those two soldiers talked. They discussed responsibility and patriotism and valor and realism, and they pondered the comparative strengths and weaknesses of both armies in the vicinity, in men, in munitions, in positions. And at the end of that long night, after every possibility had been considered, after the reluctant colonel had harvested every grain of information and wisdom he could from the venerable general, the two men parted company with a hearty hand clasp and a salute of mutual respect, and Colonel Wilder returned to his command and ordered his men to surrender. The correct decision had been made. Facing 100 cannon and well over 20,000 Confederate soldiers, Wilder and his troops hadn't a chance. So much suffering was avoided, and so many lives were spared, because in a rare act of civility in that uncivil war, one uncertain Union colonel plunged into enemy territory to seek a little friendly advice from the Honorable General Simon Buckner, the Confederate General Buckner, the commander of the enemy forces, who otherwise would have attacked at dawn. Now you know the rest of the story.